share my story about why I go to church. I grew up in a pretty chaotic world. When I was 4, my mother married a man that she did not know at the time was a periodic alcoholic. He was a good man when he wasn't drinking, and in fact he adopted my sister and me and did all kinds of wonderful things with us. He took us camping. He was quite entertaining. He taught me the beginnings of algebra. We really appreciated who he was when he wasn't drinking. But when he was drinking, things were pretty bad at our house. He cussed and beat my mother and threatened her life, and my sister and I sometimes hid under the bed, and she would say, "We've got to do something," and I would say, "What can we do?" because I realized we were powerless children. We never knew what to expect, and sometimes police got involved, and it wasn't until I was 16 that she left him permanently. In all those years, through all the chaos, my mother either took my sister and me to church, or she dropped us off at the front door and picked us up after church was over. And sometimes we rode with neighbors to church, but she made sure that we got to church because she was brought up in church and she felt like that it was really important that we have a relationship with Jesus. I did get saved and ask Jesus into my heart at a time when my entire family was going to church. Even my stepdad was going to church. And I can just remember seeing that there were some people that had some peace and joy in their lives, and I wanted that peace and joy. So when they called people up to the altar, I went up to the altar and prayed. For me, church was a place that meant order. There were things that I could expect. I could expect to have a lesson about Jesus. I could expect to have an order of service, to sing. And oh, my mother had a beautiful voice when she came to church and sang. And so it was a place where I felt loved and where I knew what was expected. To me, both church and school were places that were escapes from a sometimes crazy house. And not surprisingly, I became a school teacher because I loved school so much. I feel like that everyone has not had a great experience at church like I had. I don't have any ideas that people at church are perfect or supposed to be perfect, because I've seen that we're not perfect, and I know for sure that I am a mess many times and not perfect. So I don't expect people at church to be a certain way. I expect people at church to be there because they want to be closer to God, and they want to be with other people that want to be closer to God. But I would like to say, for anybody listening to this video, if you have been hurt by church people, by me, by someone in my congregation, or anybody who's claimed to be a Christian, maybe they've been super judgy and made you feel like you weren't good enough. Maybe they haven't offered mercy to you like mercy has been offered to us. I would just like to say, please forgive us. And please don't let what 1 or 2 people have done be a reflection of God's and Jesus's church, because we are way not perfect. And Jesus wants us to love on people and offer mercy to people just like he offered to us. But because we're human beings, we really mess up sometimes. So if you're one of those people, I would just like to say, I'm so sorry on behalf of other Christians. I would like for you to invite you to some church. My church, St. Matthew's United Methodist Church on 50th and about Slide, is a great place. I feel very loved there and very supported, and I feel like I can really be myself. I feel like I can be honest about my beliefs, and even if we have differences in beliefs, I still feel heard, and I still feel like the people there offer mercy and love to me. St. Matthew is a place for me that is very special because at a time in my life that was very tough, when my husband had he had stage 4 cancer, stage 3B, also something like that, almost stage 4. St. Matthew loved on my husband and myself and my daughter, and brought meals to us. And there are some ladies from our church that actually cleaned my house and did my laundry and said, while you're at home and not working, we want you to be able to enjoy being together. My husband did survive that, and we're so grateful. We're 12 years out of cancer now, but I was really impressed with how supportive my church was at that time, and I will never forget how wonderful people were to us. St. Matthew's an extremely friendly church, and we're a church that really does want to grow as a body, to love on people, and to go out into the world and do what we can in ministry. So if you're looking for a place, join us. If you're already part of St. Matthew, know you're part of something pretty special. So that's why I go to church. To me, church is a very special place. I love learning about Jesus. I love singing songs that meet my heart, even though I have a terrible voice. It doesn't matter. I still love singing because I feel like it brings me closer to God. So that's my story about how I came to church. Thank you.